Hi, Sumit. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Promoted Sandra. Here on my YouTube channel, I do cutting and sewing tutorials, pattern drafting, DIYs. In today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you how to draft, cut, and sew this beautiful breast tube dress with a flare and also with a design around the down part with a stylish sleeve as well. So if this is something you're interested in, then keep up watching. Before I dive into this tutorial, please go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Turn on post notifications so that anytime I upload a new video, you'll be notified. And also, if you end up enjoying this video, don't forget to like, comment on it, and also share with your friends, your loved ones, your cousins, because this really helps my algorithm a lot. This will make YouTube to recommend this video to more people who are looking for how to cut and sew this beautiful dress I am putting on. So please, if you want others to see it, like this video. Thank you very much. So without talking too much, let us dive into why we are here. These are all the materials I'm going to be using for the making of this dress. So the first material here is Africa print, and I have about 6 yards of Africa print here. So you are going to be needing about 4 yards or 4 yards and a half for the making of this dress. This depends on how big you are actually. Then the second fabric I have here is called crepe. This one is a black crepe for the design on the dress. So you can also make use of any material of your choice, be it duffels, chiffon. Then the last one here is called a lining. So I'm going to be using it to lining the dress. The first thing I'm going to be doing is to draft the upper part of this dress. So this line I just mark here is going to be serving as the starting line. So if you check this dress, it looks like a breast tube dress, right? So I'm going to be minusing 5.5 inches away from the top. That is where my dress is going to be starting from. You are going to be minusing that 5 inches, 4 inches, 6 inches. This depends on how deep you want the neckline of your tube dress to be. So for me, I'm going to minus 5.5 inches. This is 5.5 inches. I will make sure it is on this line I just mark here. So after I am done minusing it, I'll go ahead and mark my bust point line. So my bust point line is 11 inches. Then I'll also go ahead and mark my under bust line, which is 14 inches. My front half length is 16 inches. I'm not going to be marking 16 inches. I'm going to be coming down by extra 1 inch. Instead of marking 16 inches, I'll go ahead and mark 17 inches for the front half length. So once I'm done marking all of that, I will come to this other side and also repeat what I just did here. So I'll go ahead and connect all the points together like this. After connecting the points together, I'll go ahead and label it. This is the chest line, bust point line, under bust, and this is the waist line. Okay, so once I'm done with that, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to mark my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2. I'm going to be marking it on the bust point line, which is this line here. So my nipple to nipple measurement divided by 2 is 4.025. I'm going to be leaving a picture on the screen on how you can get your nipple to nipple measurement, or you can go and watch my tutorial on how to draft a basic bodice pattern. After marking it, I will come to the waistline. I will also mark it here like this. So after marking it, I'll go ahead and connect the 2 points together. So after connecting the 2 points together, what I'm going to be doing is this. I'm going to determine how many inches I want to take away from my under bust and also on the waistline. So I'm going to be taking away 1.5 inches from my under bust. So I'm going to divide that 1.5 inches into 2. So that is going to give me 3/4 inches. So I will place it on the nipple to nipple line, which is called the ampers line. I will mark 3/4 inches to the center front. Then I also mark 3/4 inches to the side front like this. Then I will come to the hem. I will also do the same thing. I'll mark 3/4 inches on both sides. So after marking it, I'll go ahead and connect the points together like this. After connecting the points together, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to place my tape on the bust point line like this. I will come down by 1 inch like this. So after coming down by 1 inch, I will go ahead and connect a curved line from the bust point line to the under bust line like this. So I'll just go ahead and remove this sharp edge. I'll blend it. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to take my bust tightening and that. So to do that, I will extend this line towards the up here. So I will just place my tape here and I will mark half of my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 4.025 inches. If possible, when marking this, just go ahead and mark it to the chest line like this. So after marking it, I'll go ahead and take my bust tightening around this area. So I will mark half inch to the center front, and also I will mark half inch to the side front like this. Before I connect the point, I will go ahead and extend this line to the bust point line using my marker. I will just mark it straight like this. Then I'll go ahead and connect a slant line from this half inch I marked here. If you are very busting, go ahead and mark 0.7 inches, and also if you are very busting, go ahead and mark 1 inch on both sides instead of marking 3/4 inches on both sides. Please take note of that. So I'm going to be marking a sweetheart neckline around the center front. If you want to add a sweetheart neckline to it, you can go ahead and do that. But if you don't want to do that, you can just go ahead and leave it straight like this. So for me, I just want to come down by ½ inch. Okay, I'll mark ½ inch downward like this. So after marking it, I'm going to be connecting it to this side. So I'll just go ahead and use my French curve to achieve this like this. I'll connect it to this point here. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to add all my horizontal measurements. So on this chest line, I'm going to be taking my round bust measurement divided by 4. My bust is 40 inches. 40 divided by 4 is going to give me 10. So I'll go ahead and mark 10 inches over here like this. And also I'm going to be replacing the dart I took here. So the dart I took here is 1 inch. I'll also go ahead and add the 1 inch I took here. Okay. So once I'm done with that, I will come to my waistline. I will divide my waist measurement by 4. I will mark it. Okay, my waist measurement divided by 4 is 9 inches. So after marking it, I'll also go ahead and measure the dart I took here, which is 1.5 inches. I will replace it like this. Once I'm done, I'll go ahead and connect the points together like this. So after connecting the points together, I will go ahead and add my sewing allowance. So on the chest line, I'm going to be adding 1.5 inches. Then also on the waistline, I'm going to be adding 1.5 inches like this. So after that, I'll go ahead and use my marker to connect the points together. I will just go ahead and remark this part again like this. Okay, so I'm going to be cutting out this part here. And also I'm going to be cutting out this part here. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is to take my side dart. To take my side dart, I'm going to be placing my tape on the bust point line. So I'm going to minus my front half length from my back half length. My front half length is 60 inches. Remember, I added 1 inch to it, that make it 70 inches. But originally, my front half length is 16 inches. Then my back half length is 14 inches. 14 minus 16 is going to give me 2. So I'm going to place my tape on the bust point line here. I will be coming down by 2 inches. So go ahead and minus your front half length from your back half length and mark it. I will place my tape here like this. On this point here, I'll be coming out by 1 inch. I'll just mark 1 inch towards this side like this. I'm going to be marking a slant line from these 2 inches to they have seized the light, guys. You guys are going to manage it like that too. So I'll go ahead and mark a slant line from here to this 2 inches point I just mark here. Okay, then also I'm going to make this bust point line more visible. So after marking it, this is going to be our side dart. So the dress we are making does not have armhole. So what I'm going to be doing now is to place my tape on the chest area like this. I will mark on 3/4 inches downward. You can also go ahead and make use of 1 inch if you want to. So for me, I'm going to be coming down from the chest line here by 3/4 inches like this. So after marking it, I'm going to be marking a slant line from this point here to that 3/4 inches I just marked. So I'm going to be cutting out this part as well. So what I'm going to be doing now is to cut this out. Just pay attention to what I'm going to be doing. So after cutting it out, I'll go ahead and cut out this part, this side here. So I'll go ahead and cut it close to the end. When cutting it, please don't cut out everything. And so I'll just go ahead and use this to close this like this. Okay. So once I'm done, I'll go ahead and pin it together. If you have a seal tape, use it to seal it together. So after covering the side that you're going to see that the line here is not equal. So what I'm going to be doing is to use my ruler to like remark it so that it will be equal. So I'm going to be cutting out the excess around here. After I was done cutting out the back, the next thing I'm going to be doing is to cut out the flay, which I'm going to be joining to the upper part of the dress. So I'm going to be cutting it on the floor so that you guys can see what I'm going to be doing perfectly well. Now, pay attention to what I'm about to explain. If you know the length of the dress you want to make is up to 60 or your height is up to 60, go ahead and cut out 3.5 yards of fabric. Now, if you know that your height is 55 or below 55, go ahead and cut out 3 yards of fabric. So for me, I wanted to cut out 3 yards and it was not enough. That is why I am explaining it, because I'm going to be joining another piece to this one that is on the floor. But before I do that, let me show you how you can cut out the waist part of the skirt. After cutting out your fabric, go ahead and fold it into two. After folding it into two, you're going to be seeing that this part is closed and this other side is open. So that is where you're going to be marking your waistline on this part here. So the first thing you want to do is to go ahead and divide your waist measurement by 2. After dividing it by 2, you're going to be adding 1.5 inches for zipper allowance. For me, my waist measurement divided by 2 is 70.5 inches. Then I'm going to be adding 1.5 inches for zipper allowance, which is going to give me 19 inches. So the total measurement I'm going to be cutting out for the waistline is 19 inches. So there is a method I use in marking out the waistline of a flay. I don't know if it has a special method. So this is what I do. I will place my tape on it like this. I will try as much as possible to locate 19 inches. Okay, if yours is 17 inches, locate 17 inches. So what I have here is 19 inches. I will mark a point here and also on this side. After marking it, I will place my tape on the tip of the fabric here like this. I will measure it to the point where I mark. So what I have here is 13 inches. I will also measure the one on this side. What I have here is 13.5 inches. So I'm going to be making use of that 13 inches instead. I will place my tape on the tip and mark 13 inches round. still placing my tape on the tip. Please take note of that. I will mark 30 inches round. After marking it, I'll go ahead and connect the points together. So what I'm going to be doing now is to place my tape on this line I just marked. I will measure it and see if it's up to 19 inches or if it's not up to 19 inches. So what I have here is more than 19 inches. So what I'm going to be doing now is to place my tape on that line I just marked. I will mark 1 inch upward. Okay, so I will just mark 1 inch upward from the start to the end. So after marking it, I'll go ahead and connect the points together like this. After connecting it, I will place my tape and measure what I have here. So what I have here is exactly 19 inches, which is going to be perfect for the waistline. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to minus my half length from the full length of this gown. Now the half length I used for the upper part was 17 inches. Now I'm going to minus 17 inches from 60 inches because 60 inches is the length of the gown I want to make. 60 minus 17 is going to give me 43. So I will place my tape on that waistline and mark. What I have here is not up to 43. So I'm going to be joining another piece of fabric to it so that I can cut out the full length. So this was what I was explaining to you guys earlier. So what I'm going to be doing now is to refold it into two, then remark the waistline again because the waistline I marked before is not going to be useful anymore. So I will remark it again. So I've already showed you guys how to mark the waistline anyway. So just go ahead and use that method. So as you can see, the line is now more visible compared to before. So I'm going to be placing my tape on the waistline like this. I will mark 43 inches downward, just like as you can see me doing. So I will keep marking the 43 inches as I am extending my tape forward. And if you check, you're going to see that I'm still placing my tape on the waistline. Please do so. So after I marked it to this part here, I then realized that this other side of the fabric is not long enough for me to mark 43 inches. So first of all, I'll go ahead and connect the points I marked together like this. I'll first of all go ahead and connect it. Then I will cut out the waistline, and I did not cut through the exact line I mark. I went to add half inch for journey allowance. Then I'm going to be cutting it down. Okay, so make sure you add 1 inch for the allowance at the down. Then I'm going to be notching the middle here as well. So after notching it, I'll go ahead and fold it into two like this. After folding it into two, you can see that the length is not the same. So I'll just go ahead and cut out this piece of fabric I have left into two. After cutting it into two, I'll go ahead and join the middle. Like I'll go ahead and join it together. So I've gone ahead to join it together. I will fold it into two. I'm going to be pinning the middle of this one I just went ahead to join together to the middle of this downside. I hope you guys understand. Make sure you fold it into two. Then go ahead and pin it. I'm going to be pinning it with half inch because I'm going to be joining it together with that same half inch. After pinning it, I will turn the skirt to this other side. After turning it, I will go ahead and cut out the excess on it. So after cutting out the excess, I will take this to the table. This is how it look like. I will take to the table and remove the pins. So after removing it, I will go ahead and open it up like this. Can you see what I'm doing? So I'll go ahead and open up the skirt as well. After I am done opening up the skirt, I'll go ahead and pin the middle where I notched to the middle of where I joined on this piece. I will place it like this, right side facing each other. Then I'll go ahead and repin it again. After pinning the middle, I will take this to the same machine. I'll go ahead and sew it with half inch from this side to the end. Then I'll also go ahead and sew this other side. It is always normal for you to join piece of fabric to your flace skirt, most especially if it's long, okay? So after I am done sewing it, I still have a little bit of excess here. So I'm going to be trimming it out as you can see. So I'll just go ahead and retrim it. After I was done trimming out the excess on the skirt, I'll be cutting out the stripes I'm going to be using for the gather design on the skirt. So I've gone ahead to cut it out as you can see. So it is very long. I went ahead to join so many pieces together for me to be able to achieve this length. So first of all, I'm going to measure the wideness of what I have here. So what I have here is 4 inches. Then for the length, I'm going to measure it for you guys to see. So this one is 1 yard, 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards, 5 yards, 6 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards and half. Okay, so I have times 2 of this one is 8 yards and half, and I have times 2 of it. So I'm going to be joining the other one to this one. Okay, this is the second one. This one I am drag it down, and for you to be able to achieve this length, you need to join a lot of pieces together. So I'm going to be joining these two together. So the total length I'm now going to have here is 17 yards. Okay, so I made use of about 2 yards of this crepe for me to be able to achieve this. So after I am done joining it together, the next stripe I'm going to be cutting out is for the sleeve. So I've gone ahead to cut out 2 pieces for the sleeve, as you can see. And also I'm going to measure the wideness I have here. So what I have here is about 7 inches wide. Then the length is about 31 inches. So guys, I'm going to be ending this video here. I've already showed you guys how to cut the upper part of the gown, the skirt part, the stripe for the sleeve, and also for the skirt design. On my next video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to sew it. I don't want this video to be too long, so stay tuned, stay subscribed. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and share. Bye.